Picture this. Your sensei ties a brand new obsidian black belt around your waist, bows, and whispers. Congratulations! Now go fill out Form 37A, the Hands of Mayhem registration. You blink. Wait, what? He nods gravely. Municipal code, kid. Same office where they license blowtorches and fireworks. You sprint from the dojo, GI flapping like a frantic seagull, only to crash into reality. The clerk has never heard of such paperwork. The security guard rolls his eyes, and the whole line of bored taxpayers suddenly realizes karate people might be fun to tease. So where did that mandatory registration bedtime story begin? Let's climb in our metaphorical DeLorean, no seatbelt required, and roll back to post-World War II Okinawa. American Marines stationed there reportedly received novelty certificates warning them to keep their bar-brawling urges in check. The souvenir cards looked official, felt official, and, most importantly for a bored soldier, were hilarious conversation starters. Years later, those cards washed back onto U.S. shores, and the legend took root faster than a front kick. By the mid-1960s, Hollywood screenwriters sprinkled the gag into scripts. B-movie villains bragged about it, and late-night hosts treated it as gospel. One talk show guest even claimed he had to renew the license yearly, right next to pet vaccinations. Now let's smash cut to the present. Legal scholars have pored over every statute from Alabama to the Arctic Circle and found nothing. Zero. Zilch. Your fists, however toned, still count as regular human appendages. The closest thing to a real rule book lives in Guam's Title 10, Chapter 62, an oddly specific section that asks local experts in karate or judo to sign a registry with the Department of Revenue and Taxation. No U.S. state, Canadian province, British Shire, or inert chunk of moon rock has ever enforced a similar form. When researchers scoured common law nations looking for any stray clause, they came back empty-handed. So why does the myth refuse to tap out? Because it's juicy. It sounds just plausible enough to be memorable. Boxers used it to hype fights. I'm so dangerous, the law keeps tabs on me. And magazines printed the quote without fact-checking. Throw in a dash of barstool bravado, sprinkle some teenage telephone game retellings, and voila, a legend with more belts than facts. But here's the twist that keeps the courtroom drama writers drooling. Even though there's no pre-fight paperwork, your martial arts resume can still haunt you after a scuffle. Judges and juries often treat a highly trained punch the way they treat a crowbar, as a tool capable of serious harm. In assault trials from Texas to New South Wales, prosecutors have argued that a black belt strike was essentially excessive force because the striker knew exactly what kind of damage it could inflict. While that doesn't create a separate criminal category, it can bump charges from minor to major and inflate sentences faster than a tournament day ego. Moral of the story? Discipline isn't just for the dojo floor, it's your shield in civil society. So what's the helpful takeaway for proud new black belts and for anyone who just likes flexing their bar fight anecdotes? First, brag responsibly. That framed deadly digits certificate from a novelty shop is fine for Instagram, but waving it around in traffic disputes might backfire spectacularly. Second, remember proportionality. Self-defense laws hinge on reasonable force. A textbook jab to stop an attacker is one thing. A spinning heel kick on a retreating heckler could land you in a judge's lecture hall about overkill. If you have the skill to end a confrontation with minimal damage, choose that path. Your future self and your lawyer will thank you. Finally, keep the myth alive only as comedy fuel. The next time someone flinches and asks if your palms are registered, raise an eyebrow and reply, "Sure, at the DMV office right between fishing licenses and unicorn parking permits." And with that, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching us chop this urban legend into tiny, non-hazardous pieces, smash that like button harder than a demo board. Subscribe for more myths cracked open like coconuts, and drop a comment telling us the wildest rumor you've ever heard about martial arts. See you next round. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep your paperwork imaginary.